I'm showing you the realities of a livestock guardian dog. This morning, Bobby Joe showed up. She was having a seizure and she was covered in blood. She obviously had gotten attacked by something. She's got some bite wounds on her. It's their job to get into fights, and unfortunately they do take damage sometimes. She hasn't had any more seizures. She had 2 of them, but she's a little bit shaky. She's probably in a little bit of shock as well, but I've been doctoring her up. You've got to be careful, girl. I do worry about Bobby Joe. She is very independent, and so she'll go off doing her job all by herself, and she's a bit of a smaller dog. Smaller framed, so she can get overwhelmed by having too many adversaries at once. When I opened that door this morning, and she came running to me, and it wasn't running, it was stumbling, and she was asking for help, and I'm so happy that she knows where to go to get that help from me. She knows I'll take care of her. So I do think Bobby Joe is going to recover just fine. I've dealt with these types of situations before. I mean, every situation's a little different. I'm just going to have to take care of her, and she's going to have to take some sick leave. And I'm sure there's some people out there who are going to wonder why I'm not taking her to a vet. You know, when you become a dog breeder, you start to learn a lot about medical care of your dogs. And there's a lot of things that I'm able to do on my own. I mean, you'd be surprised at the number of medical interventions that I'm capable of. These are the moments when I really feel and express a lot of gratitude towards my dogs. I mean, she was doing her job. She was in the line of fire doing exactly what she is supposed to do and what she wants to do, and she would never back down from that. That was kitty food I just gave her, by the way. I know, not what you're supposed to give them, but she loves it, and she's kind of refusing to eat other things right now, which is fine. I mean, she may just not be hungry, but I'd like to see if they're willing to eat after they've had a situation like this, just so I know that they've got some other bodily functions that are working appropriately. And kitty food did it, right? I love that canned cat food. I offered her water. She didn't want anything to do with it. So I'll see if she wants some more in just a minute. I'm officially tired of chickens crapping on my porch, as you can see. I've had it up to here, and I'm pointing at the top of my head. So, my husband has started this project. He started it last year, but you know, things always take way longer than you'd like. But this fence here comes around the side of our yard, and so I can at least keep sheep and cows out of here. By the way, that's a little bottle baby. And chickens as well. And then we're also going to extend this fence line this way, across the yard and down the side of the house, so I don't have chickens going onto the porch and making a complete mess. And maybe I can have some landscaping. I do enjoy landscaping, and I can't have that right now because critters like you will eat it all. You crazy little bottle baby. And you're pretty cute too. You're pretty annoying as well. But this little guy is going to be a wonderful little training tool for us in the meantime. Alright, so from Lady Bird, I kept Pink Girl. I do love those little runts, and personality-wise, she's precisely what I would look for in a livestock guardian. in the sense that she is not very social. So when I come outside, this other puppy that I kept, she's the more social one. She'll come say hi, and this girl just stays where she's at and does what she's doing with the animals. Don't get me wrong, she's great with the animals as well, but I like a livestock guardian who isn't overly obsessed with me. And so, little pink girl, we named her Clementine. Little Clementine. And while she is still smaller than this puppy, she's catching up. And y'all will get to see her grow up some and see that she doesn't become a freakishly small dog. I mean, it's always possible she'll be smaller framed, but there's some natural variation in general. All right, so this one, we named her Gertrude. Now, the name Gertrude, this was a name that I've been sitting on for a while. One of my first litters from Duke, it was a Duke and I think Ladybird litter. There was this one particular puppy from that litter, and I'll never forget her. She was just such a sweetheart. Such a big old sweetheart. Such a sweet puppy. I think about her from time to time. And the person who bought her from us named her Gertie. And I really liked that woman. Her name was Kathy, if I remember. It's been a long time since I've spoken with her. But she brought me a loaf of bread and everything. It was so sweet. And she named her dog Gertie, short for Gertrude, I suppose. And I fell in love with it. So much so that I even asked her if it was okay that I name one of my dogs after her dog. And she said yes, of course. I hadn't used the name yet. So here it is. It's Gertrude. Now keep in mind, that dog that she's named after, her name is Gertie. But the reason I've named her Gertrude, and I'll probably call her Gertie as well, is because a lot of my dogs have their names and then they have their nicknames. So we've got Ladybird, but her nickname is Birdie. Gertie, Birdie, sounds very similar. So it could get confusing. So I'm going to try to call her Gertrude, but I'll probably end up calling her Gertie from time to time. And then little Clementine, we figured that if she has a little shortened nickname, it would be Tiny. Clementine, Tiny, right? Pretty face. I just really like her body style, her facial features, and her personality that is not obsessed with me. Let's see. Oh yeah, let me update you on Chicken Buddy. Remember that little chicken that was hanging out with the puppies on the porch? And then you didn't see her in the videos for a little while, and that's because we had a juvenile hawk try to grab her. And every so often I'll get a juvenile hawk who doesn't know any better, and they'll try to grab a young chicken, and then one of my dogs will run them off and they'll never try it again. And they did that. That little hawk did that to her, and that's why she's got purple. Kind of torqued the back of her neck. So anyhow, here's Chicken Buddy. Chicken Buddy's still really sweet. Come here. Come here, Chicken Buddy. Alright, you're a nice little chicken. You got a funny little hairdo. So this hairdo is from that hawk as well. It kind of ripped open her skin on the back side, and so I kind of had to take a flap of skin and just lay it back onto place. And well, now because of all that, she's got a funny hairdo. Hello. Oh, I need to pick this up. When Marigold had her babies, I had her on the front porch for a little while, laboring, and I spent the night out on the porch with her. I originally had her in my bathroom, but my husband had to sleep, so we migrated outdoors. But I can't tell you, for this last week, I have been just completely out of it. Whew, doing an all-nighter at my age is no fun. I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I mean, there's a mile-long list of things I need to do. One of them is this. These stupid Christmas lights have been on this house for 2 years. My husband wanted to put up Christmas lights, and I told him, if you put those Christmas lights up, then you have to be the one to take them down. And did he take them down? No, he did not. So, I don't know, one day I'll throw a fit, and he'll take them down, and then I will never allow him to put them back up. I know, you can call me a Scrooge if you want, but this looks janky. It just does. And then I need to bring in some dirt. This big mud pit that you always see here. This happens because the rain that runs off the roof right here hits so hard. It's like Niagara Falls over here. It's really bad for the foundation. Our foundation's in rough shape in the first place. We do have to do something about that. But I just need to stop the bleeding. So the ultimate plan is obviously bring in dirt. We got to build this up a bit. Once we've done that, this little goldfish pond is going to move over here and act as rain catchment. Hi, Mary. Hi, Mary Gold. You funny looking girl. That's my smiley dog. She's my smiley chatty dog, right? Hi, Mary. Alright, so here's her babies. Little Maremma babies. Now, oh, get that out of there. So, Miss Marigold has kind of curly fur, which is something that you'll find in the Maremma breed. And so some of these babies definitely have that curly fur. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that curly fur. It's so cute. We got 4 boys and 4 girls here. So she originally had 10 puppies. But 2 of those puppies did not make it. One of those puppies came out struggling in the first place. And who knows what the cause was. You never know sometimes when they die that quickly. So that was that. And then another puppy died. I think it had gotten hypothermia, had kind of gotten separated from the rest of the litter. And when that happens, you know, sometimes they can crash real quick. And I can pull out all the tricks in the bag to try and help that baby, but sometimes it's just not enough when they're that young. So it's sad, but it is what it is. This girl has decided to be a picky little snob when it comes to food. And I've tried all sorts of special tasty things. She's just being weird about it. Sometimes mamas do that, but inevitably that means her milk supply has been a little bit lower. But now she's no longer being a snob, so everything's fine. Here's Luann with her puppies. And keep in mind, this litter is half Great Pyrenees. We got 11 babies. And she actually had 12 to begin with. And one did not make it. The next day after she had the babies, she laid on her puppy. That can happen with new mamas especially, but it can really happen with any mama. It just happens. It's sad, but we have 11 puppies here, and when it comes to these half Pyrenees puppies, these half Duke puppies, I love my Duke babies. Oh my god. I mean, Duke is such a big sweetheart. Duke is just the best. And so are his babies. So Duke being Great Pyrenees, he's a pretty big boy, but I actually I think of him as being small for a Great Pyrenees, even though he's not small. He's not a small dog. But there's other Pyrenees out there who are bigger than him. But every single one of his puppies are so much bigger than him. And Miss Luann has been the absolute perfect mother. Keep in mind, this is Ladybird's daughter. And she has just been stunning. Also, her labor was the most amazing, perfect labor I could have ever asked for. I only wish all of my other dogs could have a labor that was as amazing as hers. 3 hours, and all these puppies were popped out. She did go into labor the night before, but it was obvious that it was early labor. So I found her outside, not wanting to come up to eat for dinner. She was underneath the trailer, and it seemed obvious to me that she was in labor. So I brought her in here, and all she did was lay down and go to sleep. So I thought, okay, we're not having babies tonight. So I went to bed. I woke up in the morning, and she had 2 babies, and they were fresh newborns, still wet. But she had them out of the bag and everything, and then within 2.5 hours, all these babies were born. She was done. It was amazing. It was the absolute easiest birth I think I've had. And every single puppy that popped out, she ripped the bag off. I didn't even have to do it. It was just beautiful. So awesome. So I'm very happy with that. Let's hope that every other labor you have in the future is just exactly like that. Here's the other crazy thing. So I posted a picture of Marigold and how big and pregnant she was. Just so big and pregnant. She had a lot of fluid inside of her, and I think that kind of made it hard on her, in fact. Especially afterward, she was releasing a lot of fluid afterward. And this girl, I'll show you a picture of her pregnant just a couple days before she had her babies. And you can barely tell she was pregnant. And I just thought, for sure, we're going to have like 6 puppies at the most. And boy, was I wrong. This girl, I guess you've got some tight abs. Because you were holding those babies in there. What a huge difference. She barely looked pregnant. She had 12 puppies. And then Marigold looked like she was going to just explode. And she had 10 puppies. That's just how it goes. 2 very different body types. And here's Biscuit on this fine morning. Can we show him your teeth? Can we show him your teeth? Look at his little baby teeth. There's your little baby teeth. And you know what I just noticed? Is that he does not have a little tusk. Normally it would be right here on the bottom, but I don't have anything. There's your little baby tusk. You got it on the other side. Sweet boy. So that's how you know you've got a good pig. You can dig around in their mouth, look at everything, make sure it looks good. Oh yeah. Good boy. Butter, it's okay. It wasn't that bad. You just needed an attitude adjustment. Right, Biscuit? That's Esther. And Lefty. Alright, so here's Marigold. And I don't know if you can tell, but she is very swollen around her neck. On the back of her neck and under her chin as well. It's not as bad as it was yesterday, but she got bit by a snake. Can you believe that? I didn't even really understand what was happening at first. And that's kind of one of the things that's a bit difficult about a long-haired dog, is that something like swelling is harder to see visually until it gets pretty pronounced. But yeah, she got bit by a snake. So we've had to do a few little medical interventions to make sure that she'll pull through just fine, and she probably will. But we're keeping a close eye on her. All throughout yesterday, she's stopped eating. I haven't seen her eat today either. She is still nursing her babies, but what that means is that if she's nursing and not eating, she is going to drop on milk production, but she's going to lose weight very fast. So I'm doing everything I can to entice her to eat, but we're going to expect that she's going to drop a little too much weight with this litter due to this situation. But she's in good hands. Now, thankfully, she's okay. She's going to pull through. I'm not going to show you the snake bite. It's on the back of her neck, which is a kind of crazy spot to have that happen. My guess is it was a young snake, and she laid down and boom. But she has an extremely open, gaping wound. We're keeping it as sterile as possible. She is on medication. However, when this initially started happening, once we realized that there was a problem, she went off of food and she stopped nursing these babies. So I had to start doing some supplemental feedings on these babies. I'm at the point where I no longer have to supplemental feed, and it's because she's back to nursing. And here's a pretty amazing thing. I wish I caught this on camera. But at the point where Marigold stopped nursing, these babies were pretty upset. Obviously, they were hungry. They did not really like the whole idea of supplemental feedings. But during about a 2-day period when she was not nursing, Luann came in here and nursed her puppies for her. That was the most amazing thing. I did not even ask Luann to do that. She did that all on her own. It was a really neat thing. But these puppies are doing really well. They're opening their eyes. They're doing awesome. We're about to move them onto the porch here pretty soon. And we've got Luann's babies over here getting humongous, as these are Duke babies. They always get super beefy. These babies are beautiful. And you are an amazing mom. Just wow with her. I couldn't ask for anything more perfect in the way that she's handled herself. And this is her first litter. Here's Esther and Clementine. It's hot out here. I see you knocked this down for me. Thank you. We still don't have power. But look at this. Biscuit just loves puppies to death. I didn't get a video, but I did get a picture yesterday of him inside of that little cage. I have that cage open now because of Biscuit, but it was closed, the puppies were in there, and he got in there with the puppies. And I guess the puppies felt crowded, and so the puppies squirmed their way out of there. So it was Biscuit in the cage and puppies outside of the cage. The pigs sleep inside at nighttime, so this morning I let Biscuit out and he went straight for the puppies. Biscuit, you love those puppies? And we got a bottle baby lamb. He's very annoying. Everybody thinks bottle babies are cute until you have to deal with them every day. They're annoying. Stop it, I don't have anything. Oh boy. Still do not have power. Still have a number of problems going on around here. We've slowly but surely fixed some of them. That carport over there was laying on top of the well house right behind it, but we were able to get it off. We have not yet disassembled it. Still have trees down everywhere. Funny thing, I guess the only bright side to that hurricane is that one of our cows had a baby in the middle of the hurricane. And the baby is doing great. It's a beautiful little heifer. And that's Marigold over there. She is healing up very nicely. Oh, girl. She's acting like she doesn't have an open wound on her neck, but she still does. It looks so much better, though. I'm still not going to show it to you because you would still look at it and think that it looks horrible, but it actually looks very good. If you had seen what it originally looked like, then you would be just floored. So we also have had very spotty cell phone service. It has not worked very well. It's been very on and off. Also, when I text message people, sometimes it gets through, sometimes it doesn't. I don't exactly know. Phone calls are dropping quite a bit out here. Yeah, we're living in the dark ages at the moment. Not very fun. So we have this fence around the yard completed. We're still going to add more fencing, but we now have a little pool that used to be a stock tank with the goldfish in it. That stock tank is now right here. So that's our swimming pool now, 10-foot stock tank, and that has been the best way for us to stay cool around here. We finally did get a generator. We had to drive all the way to San Marcos to buy that thing. So we're using it to switch back and forth between what we want to run in the house. So yeah, I haven't taken a bath in days. I'm wearing multiple layers of deodorant. Come on, buddy. Yeah. Can you believe this? Rain after a hurricane. Oh, Biscuit. Here's Gertrude. Little Miss Clementine is out in the rain doing her own thing, as usual. She's always just doing her own thing. Here's Marigold's babies. Those curly little coats. Marigold tends to make curly hair babies. It's so cute. Did you get stung by a bee?
She reacted to it. Maybe just landed on it.
If it flew off, then...
Yeah.
Did you have a bee after you, Clementine? She's growing up fast now. She's getting lanky. So you'll definitely notice that sometimes, especially with the Maremas, you'll have ones like her, and same with Luann. They'll grow up kind of tall and skinny, and then after they get to their full size, then they'll fill out. And I think that's kind of what she's doing. She's catching up on skeletal growth, and so the weight gain is going to happen after. Getting puppy kisses.